What's up, guys? I'm back with another HPAL guide. We're going to be talking about Necro, Holy Paladin, and TSG, which is Warrior and DK. I swapped to Necro on my alt Paladin. It is infinitely better than Kyrian, even without tier set. I highly recommend you play Shadowbreaker, Dawn of the Sun, and Unity, of course, and you want to be stacking Mastery into Versatility. The Mastery and throughput you get from Shadowbreaker is actually just insane. It is so much throughput, even without tier piece. Once you have two piece, you're going to feel like a literal god in arenas. It is so much better. And Mastery also, just so you guys know, increases your healing done up to a certain percentage based on how close you are to the target. This is why Paladin can be very good with melee cleaves, because you're going to be stacking on top of them most of the time anyhow. And also your mastery is 100% on yourself. So if you ever get swapped to, you get 100% of that increased healing. So like I would get 15% increased healing on myself. I have like no mastery on this tune because I went crit verse for the Kyrian Lego. It's fine, I'll work on my stats later. All right, I'm going to beacon both my DPS. One thing you want to do versus RMP is actually, instead of beaconing the DK, you want to beacon yourself most of the time versus RMP, because if they swap to you in the opener, you're going to want your save by the light proc. Because more often, or about, I'd say like 50% of the time, it depends what cooldowns they press, but you can actually sit the entirety of your kidney shot on you if your DPS peel for you well. Most of the time, your DK is going to trinket first here because he has so many defensives, and he'll pop AMZ on combustion. It's when the mage pops combustion and the sub-rogue here pops like shadow blades or resonators that you're really going to be forced to press bubble in the opener, especially if they get a mind games off. Because if they get the mind games off, you're forced to use one global to dispel yourself before you can heal. If you're really cracked, you can try to fleshcraft the go instantly. I think I get that off in this game, which is something at a higher level you really want to do as often as possible. But regardless, so I should have beaconed myself. Definitely want to keep it on the warrior here. They're very squishy early on, and you don't want them to trinket because they could die in a duel versus sub-rogue. So every time I play against sub-rogue with other comps, I tell them I will save you in smoke bomb, and you will save your trinkets for duel, because a lot of these sub-rogues are like some one-shot spec, and they're trying to get your DPS's trinket in the opener, and then shadowy duel and murder them with triple resonator or something. There's no counterplay, there's nothing you can do. So from the HPAL position, tell your teammates, if you're playing with other comps, I'll save you in smoke bomb. You only trinket on shadowy duel, okay? And then you'll be able to live and win a lot more games that way. Also, versus this comp, you want to stop as many polys as possible, but also rogues are squishy as hell, so you kind of just hit whatever you can. So in the opener here, I'm aura mastering to prep my fleshcraft. Like, if my DK gets sapped here, I'm instantly pressing fleshcraft. If they open up a cheap shot on my warrior, I'm fleshcrafting. That way I can't get CC'd, and I can start healing my team immediately. So I'm just building up some holy power. I get combat instantly. The literal second my warrior gets DB'd, I am fleshcrafting with aura mastery up, and they cannot kick me. So now I'm going to be able, for like the next 3 seconds, to either peel for my team or heal my team. This is so good from me. You want to do this every freaking game possible. So Fleshcraft, my DK gets chastised. I'm kind of just chilling. I see that they're trying to swap me. We got a really good disarm on the rogue as well. So I swapped beacon to myself immediately. And I'm getting ready to CC the healer because we want to do a go. They blind me, but they haven't pressed any cooldowns yet. So I'm sitting this, okay? Don't just trinket blind if you're blinded. It doesn't matter if it lines up, especially on Holy Paladin. You can get away with bopping yourself. It's very situational on whether or not you want to bop yourself out of it or trinket so that you can sack, etc. So I'm still reading the situation at this point. Now Shadow Blades and Combustion is popped, and we get the AMZ off, so I'm holding. I think I messed up and I didn't press sack here. I tried to just natty heal this, but as you can see, I honestly should have pressed sack, because that was combustion and Shadow Blades. This is like our first few games warming up, so I played this poorly. You definitely want to press sack there, because now you see I have 0 holy power, and I didn't press wings there either, because I'm just playing like the greediest motherfucker ever in Shadowlands Season 3 when everybody does infinite damage and my rogue or my warrior's disarmed so he can't parry as well. It's just bad. I think I end up having a sack here anyway. I should have just trinket sacked or something earlier so that I mean, really we only traded AMZ and Aegis as well as Rally, so it's like not the worst for all of their DPS cooldowns. But I end up just still natty healing this. I think my teammates are saying they're fine. I end up having a trinket sack here late. I'm going to go for a blind on the healer out of this lockout. We get the full blind, and now I'm going to use my Vanquisher hammer charges to top my team. As Necro, you want to be sure you're facing your allies as well, so that the Light of Dawn actually hits them. If you are, like, pointed the wrong way, as a frontal, because Light of Dawn is a frontal, your team won't get that benefit of the heal, and that's the main reason Necro Holy Paladin is so strong. So make sure you're facing your teammates all the time. Very easy with melee cleave. Gets a little bit tougher if they're like right on top of you and you have to like 180 in one or two directions, or if you're playing caster melee and they're like on two different sides of the map. So you got to try to position yourself very well and feel the cone out. But regardless, we're hitting the mage here. And got a full blind on the healer. My warrior gets shadowy dueled, so he can't shatter the bubble, or the block rather. And the rogue is trying to set up on me. I'm calling for kick poly, please, and I bop my warrior, but we overlap with trinket. Because I didn't end up getting CC'd. I'm gonna dispel the DK here. It's okay. He's gonna get pretty low, I think, on the next go here, but now they're touching rogue because mage stole bop. I run out and dispel this. Still just PvEing. We got the healer's trinket. I say I'm going to Hodge here when the DR is up, which is really strong. I freedom the DK and then the warrior. Kind of just hit whatever you can, and you want to make sure rogues do not get a free re-stealth versus RMP. It's very scary. His mind games, yeah, this is where my warrior gets really low. I'm going to stack in the resonator with them so that I can try to heal. He still has die by the sword, so he's kind of just holding it and playing greedy as well. We get a full fear that ends up breaking on the priest, but lands on the rogue. My DK gets his seeds, so he can't peel very much. I think he ends up pressing die by here. I'm going to bubble because he's 25%. I don't have enough holy power to top him. So if they randomly just get some damage off, like a shadow word death from the priest, I'm really scared. So, and just kind of playing on top of my team. That was a really scary go, but we still have die by the sword. I now have nothing, and I'm on forbearance. I have no trinket, and I have no bubble, and I'm on forbearance for 21 seconds. So I am telling my teammates, if they swap to me, I am going to need peeling. It's going to be really hard because none of us have trinket, but we can end up peeling it pretty well if we stop their go. I have Fleshcraft coming up. I can pre-Aegis the go as well. So I'm telling my teammates for the next like 20 seconds, I can die if I get kidney shotted. It's very important to communicate these things with your team so that they can prepare accordingly. Especially with DK Warrior versus RMP, if you just keep shutting down their goes, you pre-Aegis, you know, you kick polys, you AMZ on the combustion, you pre-disarm the rogue, you stormbolt the rogue during the go. If you just live like, I'd say like 3 to 5 different kidney shots and blind goes, polys, etc., you're just gonna whittle them out until they run out of CC. So I'm telling my team this, and we're just gonna keep playing the game. I'm trying to play on top of my team here so that they can peel for me. Like I've said in previous videos, you want to play near your DK, near your warrior, so you can spam chains of ice. If you don't really want to be behind, you don't want to be line of sighting your team, otherwise the DK can't like grip people off you. We kind of get a go here. We got a silence off on the priest, just trying to PvE heal, freedom the warrior there, and I get cheap shotted here into poly. We end up stopping the poly beautifully right there, and I am trying to get a Vanquisher's hammer charge and peel my team. They messed up their go because we kicked poly. I full blind the healer here, and I think the rogue is going to go down. I think I fleshcrafted a poly there as well. And we ended up winning. Very, very, very close on cooldowns and whatnot. We all, like, my whole team played so greedy. Like, the warrior still has parry the entire game. I ended up having nothing, and the RMP didn't swap to me, so that was pretty lucky. But That was pretty close. That's not exactly what you want to do, but you'll feel it out as you play versus RMP. All right. We're gonna be playing against DK Demon Hunter here with the Holy Priest variant. I think Paladin's supposed to win this later on, but this is gonna be very hard. Right now, you know, when you're queuing up arenas with your friends, you got to make sure to tell that your friends when their Mog is sick. Right now, I'm telling this warrior, yo, your Mog is sick, bro. Keeping up the good vibes. We had lost the first few games early on, so just trying to have a good time still with the guys. I don't play anything special here. I'm really going to be focused on trading almost every single freaking cooldown in the game when the DK presses Grabby Hands and when the Demon Hunter presses Metamorphisis. If you can live those 30 seconds, guys, you have a much better shot of winning the game. Living the opener is the most freaking important thing versus DK DH because they do insane damage. A couple notes is you can Aura Mastery, Concentration Aura, or Aura Mastery the DK's Silence ahead of time, like before you get gripped in. It's really strong. You can Bop Asphyxiate. And also the DK's Grabby Hands thing is shadow damage, so you want to pair it with Aegis, because the Demon Hunter also does some magic damage, but like it's so minimal. His Death Sweep is a lot of physical, but it's going to be really hard to get value out of Bop in this matchup, so Bopping Asphyxiate's great. If you can randomly let a Bop sit, you want to try to cover it with Bestow Faith and like Freedom, so that they can't instantly purge it. But I'm going to sit at a pillar here and just top my team. I don't have a ton of holy power yet. I Aura Mastery into Fleshcraft so that in the next 3 seconds after this, the DK cannot grip me in, and I have like 2-3 globals to just PvE heal their opener. As you can see, the DH has Metamorphosis up. I don't know why it's 6 seconds or how that works really, to be honest, but I think he still has to press the long CD. But the DK is pressing Grabby Hands. My DK presses IBF instantly and AMZ on the Grabby Hands. This is awesome. I'm building a ton of holy power and trying not to like spend a lot of it because my DK had Icebound Fortitude up. Their DK has Icebound Fortitude up, and now we are just getting railed. It would have been really nice to also have my DK and Warrior press Aegis, but they're very good at the game. I trust them to press their defensives whenever the best time is. So I'm at a pillar PvE healing. The DK still hasn't gripped me. He wasn't able to because of Fleshcraft. I just got to build up my holy power. So I press big sack here on the DK. I must have been playing small sack. I'll have to run that back because otherwise that sack is just actually awful. But just still PvE healing. Pretty sure we're going to end up losing this game. I don't get much CC out. Just keeping my Vanquisher's Hammer charges up, keeping on my Holy Power. This is just classic PvE healing at a pillar. Dispel my Warrior on the Fear. Running into Hodge the Healer here full, and we end up, I think, killing the DK. I get a quarter blind off, and that's that. All I did was PvE heal, make sure I avoid CC, and we popped cooldowns much better than they did. That's going to be that on that one.